Hey guys, this is Maui Snake bringing you episode 8 of my Pro Player Analysis series. Today I'm going to be going over GODSENT's flusha. So flusha is 23 years old. He's most well known for his stint with Fnatic, where he was there for 3 years, had a lot of success, was part of that Fnatic best team in the world reign for a while. A lot of tournament wins, a lot of experience under his belt. Has played a lot with Pronax, and with his current team, GODSENT, he's teamed up with JW, Schneider, Lekro, and Pronax. And from the ratings, he's not actually that much above anyone else on his team. JW and Schneider both have a 1.06. He has a 1.09. This is for the past 3 months. Even for the past year, it's not very different from this. I think he's a little higher. But GODSENT in general haven't been doing that well. So there's no one on the team that's actually got an insane rating in particular. Just Pronax is just well below the average. So yeah, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to be going over a demo between GODSENT and mousesports in ESEA Season 2 Europe. And flusha goes really insane this game. Has about 119 ADR, like a 1.6 rating, and yeah, I'll just jump into it. The second highest ADR in the whole game had 88, who is Nico, and Nico is negative. And it wasn't like a super convincing win for GODSENT, but still, flusha played extremely well. And alright, that should work. Oh, so it's like an old version of Mirage. That's why it's downloading it. I guess something's changed since then. Okay. Okay. We're in that champion at ESL Cologne pin. And already he's using the USP, buys armor. Looks like he's the cat player just from his positioning in the beginning of this round. So he's kind of got a rotator-ish role. Meant to help out Lekro at B, but yeah, you get a lot of you have a lot of options when you're playing cat. You can help out mid, you can help out B. Usually you're trying to help out mid because that's really important. And he already is getting aggressive to pinch them. So I think they know that both players of mousesports are around that area. And by containing them like this, he can just really limit mousesports options. They can't rotate back or anything. They have a minute to play with, so these kind of contains can be really effective in attempting to stop them from doing anything. But he gets taken out. They still win the round. Really nice shot by Lowell. And showing his hops, jumping up on, doing this cat jump. That's something you really got to practice for a while. Even if you feel like you can do it consistently, sometimes you'll mess up during games if you just aren't comfortable enough. But nope, flusha is quite confident. He's played in a lot of majors. He's played in a lot of big tournaments. Random ECS Season 2 game isn't gonna get him nervous enough to mess that jump up. Gets pretty aggressive at top mid. It's not really a necessary play, but you usually want to rack up that money when you have those SMGs. He's still able to get a couple kills that round and rack some money up. Just notice he buys the ump, even though he's playing cat. Usually cat, you're going to have a lot of long angles that you're fighting, but you're kind of in the fray of everything too. So you always want to invest that rifle into this round. He had the good spawn again for mid, and instead of trying it, he's playing window with Schneider right on his butt. So yeah, just helping Schneider hold mid. No one smokes top mid, so they think it's safe to rotate. But it looks like mousesports have, yeah, a T-spawn smoke to window. And now he's pretty neutralized here. So we'll see how he handles this. If he tries to get aggressive or if he just waits it out. Waiting it out is generally the better play. Unless you have some kind of reads or good information to support some kind of aggressive play. But yeah, that's all he goes for. Oh, perfect nade on Dennis. Decides to re-peek and challenge there. I think that's fine. I mean, it worked out, so it's fine. But just a little question. So that's really weird when he shot Nico there. Not sure if he hurt him or what, or if he just kind of did a little spam shot there. There's been a lot of flusha accusations. I'm not trying to like debunk or prove anything here. I'm just trying to analyze this play, but that was just still a weird shot. So I think a lot of people who would be watching this would have seen by now the videos of flusha just like kind of doing random wall bangs through walls you can't even shoot through, or just kind of seems like he's aim locking some of the time. And this is an online tournament too. It's not a this is like an online league match for ECS, so it's not like he's actually on LAN or anything where anyone could catch him. But I'm gonna just stray away from that. That's a really messy subject. I don't really want to get into does flusha cheat or not. So it just helps out mid that round. Nothing really happened. Messes up the jump there. That's super odd. I don't think I've ever messed that jump up like that. Like, actually ever. So it's weird he can make the cat one with consistency, but couldn't jump into window as fast as he's normally supposed to. Not a big deal though. It kind of happens, I guess. It really shouldn't happen. Gets smoked out and decides to move away. Now most of his team's already been picked, so him and JW are kind of in a pretty sticky situation. The team has enough money to drop and buy next round if they save their guns, but it looks like they're actually going to go for this. Expecting the A pinch, and he gets traded out after that kill. 2v5 in a position like his, you do want to like see if you can pick up a couple kills or something, but yeah, it's a really hard situation. You can see JW cleared all the way through B there, so he went all the way through here, and which I guess flusha was trying to do was kind of go through the other side, kind of like this, and they can kind of like pinch A together if they do that correctly, but yeah, he kind of just encountered some enemies a little early. A little too early for JW to help out or anything. In those late round situations, it's just really important to have good communication, know what the objective of your other teammate is doing. Even if he's on the other side of the map, you kind of want to know where he's headed, what he's thinking, and you could see some semblance of that in that round. Not like it transpired to do anything, but nonetheless, just important. So he decides to smoke cat after that window smoke. I think he assumes that Mouse might be going for some kind of cat play, and no one's gonna just run through that. Also, it stops anyone from being at a chair and picking him. So it allows him to get in the ladder for free, and now he's just in a new position. I don't think he's played here. He hasn't played here yet for this match, so changing your positions obviously something you need to do as a CT to one bullet. And yeah, flusha was able to help out that round and get the mid kill. Really effective stuff. I don't think getting in ladder actually influenced that too much. So far he's just kind of showing off pretty solid CT work. He's not really doing anything that's really out of the ordinary though, other than that cat jump. Well, that was weird and laggy. But other than that cat jump, he hasn't really shown any kind of specialties yet. There haven't been any real clutch situations that he's had to pull out of his hat or anything. He seems a little aggressive. Thing is, this isn't really that aggressive of a peak when you know they're on pistols or whatever. And it's a really common play to just have some mid aggression as a CT, especially the cat guy, just moving up like this. Gets Chris J next. He just knows he can win these fights. They don't have armor. They're just on pistols. There's not much danger of just taking those fights. You should come out ahead if you're reasonably, if the skill is relatively even. Already though, he's 11-3, but it doesn't. You don't really. There's not much weight in like a lot of his kills. A couple eco kills. One of the few gun rounds they lost, and he didn't have much of a chance. So, but he goes window that round. They have a couple. GODSENT's showing they have a couple CT setups. This should be a good round. See what he does. Just takes a really wide peek there, and yeah, jumping up on this box is a really common play too. Catches one, and he's able to stop the plant. So that was really good. It's just a lot of being really comfortable in rotating there. That's a pretty typical play from someone that's in CT. When CT smoke like that, you really want to jump up a lot of the time. The smoke there somewhat serves as a one-way for you, because you can jump on top of it, and people will look there a lot of the time because everyone does this nowadays. But it's still a really strong play to do it, even if people are somewhat aware of it. It also, if people are too much just looking up, you could just run through the smoke, I guess. I mean, I don't think people do that, but it's just a really common play, and he's comfortable doing it. Throws a molly to keep back anyone cat so we can help B now. And they're actually down a mat. Lekro with a nice one tap there. What's cool to note is that all of GODSENT actually left B here. Pronax pushed through A, so you actually would normally think that's just really good teamwork by Lekro and flusha. They just leave B entirely to double up a connector, and that's not something I think most people would do in that situation. Usually, a lot of people would want to like leave one at a bomb site. I might just think sit at B or something, because if Pronax already pushed through, you're gonna usually think that they're gonna just go to B. But I guess since Lekro was shutting down any apartment aggression so well, they decided to make that play together, and it worked out just perfectly, exactly how they wanted it to. They traded. I mean, they didn't even have to trade. Lekro didn't even die, so. And flusha plays a lot of spots here. Another thing to note, he's constantly changing his position every round. He's not even just like changing up his position on cat. Sometimes he's the window guy. Sometimes, I mean, he just went connector there. Sometimes he's playing cat. I mean, sometimes cat, window, connector. I mean, all three of those he's done so far. He hasn't done anything else yet. But I mean, he's kind of like GODSENT's setup on CT side is actually pretty nice. How they can just switch like that and are comfortable doing it. Mirage is one of those maps that pretty much.
I will pray for you, brother.
It seems like pretty much everyone has played a ton of times, so. And you usually practice it. It's one of the maps that a lot of people will practice a lot of the time. And now they're going for a heavy A stack. So this is a really sick read coming out from probably Pronax to just say that, hey, they're probably. This is actually really crazy how they're doing this. They're giving up all mid aggression. flusha is the only one kind of holding mid, and he's doing it from ticket booth, which actually technically covers everything. But it's, again, another position that they're using, and it's against what seems to be a force buy, or kind of like a pistol. It's a pistol armor buy, actually. So it worked out with Pronex pushing there. That was a perfect nade. That did 77 damage to Chris J. Notice he opts for the HE grenade over a second flashbang nearly always. I don't think he's once not bought an HE grenade and instead opted for a flash when he could have. Oh, so he throws this. He actually threw the smoke himself there so he can make the play that he likes, which is jumping up. Thankfully for mousesports, Dennis is right there. Oh, and Dennis turns at the worst time. So it all worked out for flusha here. Really patient there, waiting for his teammate to come up. Nothing. No hurry, no rush. Just they have pistols. You don't want to just like push into them like that and give them even a closer range battle. I'm surprised jumping up works so well like that when they've just seen him do that already twice now. And they're doing the same A setup, actually. Putting JW aggressive in Palace. Schneider is under Balk, and Pronex is again just pushing A ramp, and he's doing it dry. He hasn't used a single nade. They smoke out the ramp so that they can make it seem like he's not going to push it, but yeah, he just got taken out there for free. And he didn't even use a single nade. That's gotta hurt to start a round. And they're giving Lekra a really tricky job here to just watch Cat, B, and essentially market by himself. Like, right now, mousesports could definitely... There's a good window of opportunity there for them to have either gone ladder room and into window, or to go into, like, boost into window, or just, like, go window to market. A lot of options. So he's smoking CT himself again. Mouse have got to know what he's doing now this time. He just lost a lot of health. But if they don't catch him this time, I'm going to be really... Well, it's just Dennis now, but okay, finally. Can't trick him that many times. It's fine, though. It was a 4v1. But he had low health. Kind of just should have waited for his teammates there. But it's not really a big deal. They have a lot of money, I'm sure. Yeah. Pretty set. And yeah, Flush is just being really consistent. 17 and 4. Now he's playing pushing up Cat. Might get flashed in here or something. Yep, Schneider throws a flash or whoever. And gets one, which is traded out. Just making mousesports guess a little. They're really dominating them, so a lot of these plays are working out pretty well too. 1-for-1 isn't great, but it's also intel on top of the 1-for-1. So it's not necessarily the worst thing, especially if he has a teammate trade that out afterwards, which I think Schneider did, or whoever. Maybe it was Lekra. No, Schneider, I think. And now, well, it seemed like he was going to push B apartments, but thought better of it. Just jumped out the window. So he seems like a really flexible player. It's pretty hard to categorize him right now on this map because everyone on his team is rotating. I think Lekro's the only kind of like anchorage person for them so far. And his nades have been really good too. He hasn't thrown the sickest flashbangs or anything, but he always has an idea of what he's trying to do with his smokes and his flashes, or his HE grenades. He has like some set ones, and that's a cool flash. Really good spam there. Just right on. Really right on with a lot of these. Just played it enough. Probably watched his own demos. Seen if he's missed his sprays or anything like that before with sound cues. I don't need to watch this. I'm just trying to go over flusha. Damn, he gave himself a pixel to make sure that Molotov went over. That barely didn't hit a wall. Thing is, GoTV demos the tick rate and whatnot. It's a little different. Like he might have had more space there than we actually saw. But it looked like a really tight squeeze for that molly. So far, his nades have been one of the most impressive things for me. He hasn't hit too many crazy shots or anything, but his HEs have done a lot of damage. I actually think I think on the HLTV's like top players of the year list, flusha was rated #1 for most grenade damage, and for one, he always buys an HE grenade, so that's definitely gonna raise your average when you're not opting for a second flashbang. But in addition, his just nades have been really on point. Really good awareness of just kind of everything. If you're a oh, that's too bad. Oh, that closes out the half, but yeah, just again, he's got really precise grenades a lot of the time. He even buys an HE grenade and a flashbang and a P250 for the pistol. I'm assuming this flashbang is gonna try to help his teammates get out apartments after they throw the smoke. Yeah, but the nade, I guess we'll see how he uses it. On what's really good to do is to look over pistol rounds a lot. Oh, that is a crazy Molotov. And he does more nade damage. I mean, looks like they're about to lose this, but nonetheless, what I was trying to say is that on pistol rounds, it's really good to look over demos and see if your team does a strat a lot of times in a row, or you guys know your set play, to find out where are the counter terrorists going to move naturally when you throw the execute that you're throwing, and then when you go over the demo, you can makes it a lot easier to find a good HE grenade. So like a lot of people will have set flashes, set smokes, but if you really want to step your game up, finding out a good hand grenade spot is really nice. Like just always throwing one CT spawn or throwing one. He threw that into market pretty much. Just those kind of little things can be just give you that extra edge and damage that can help you close that round. It's often better on a pistol round to have a HE grenade than like a P250 per se. If your strat only involves one smoke, you know, and you have that extra $300, some people will opt for the P250. He bought a P250 here, but he didn't, instead of buying a smoke. But yeah, it's just another way to kind of change up your game a bit. Oof. Oh, that was a really good little burst by Chris J. Seems like it's gonna just be a one smoke waterfall. Trying to get the bomb down here. I kind of want to see. I'm more interested in seeing where the smoke actually goes. Okay, it's just a middle side smoke, and I'll go back to flusha now. Seems like they're even trying to fake it a little bit by just having everyone wait here, and that was honestly really good timing by them. They actually caught one of the mousesports members moving back. They saw the smoke, then they moved back, and they were kind of walking towards connector. If they waited maybe 5 more seconds, I mean, the smoke might have went away, but they also might have had it be a 2v4 or 2v5 instead of a 3v5. Okay, so for this, flush is designated to go mid. Oh, okay. Really late flash, and to get that mid pusher, and that almost cost flusha his life there. And now he's gonna throw a top connector smoke, and it's pretty common mid play for them. You're just trying to fight in the beginning, really. Your nades can only take you so far, and those you're gonna get peeked. You have to just have your gun out and be sure. I mean, just be ready to fight, pretty much. Flusha didn't do much wrong there. That peek was pretty normal. Just 3 people were kind of like looking at him at the same time, so it's not really gonna win those very often. And decides to buy the P250 again instead of oh god. Managed to get the bomb down. I think that's all they really want. He might even try saving here. He's just trying to do as much damage as possible. Oh god. Oh, jeez, this is crazy. This is insane. Okay, wow. If he actually got that kill, he really could have won that round. Just showing how dangerous he is, though. Even in a situation that looks utterly hopeless, he was able to come out with 2 really nice kills. That just does a little more economic damage. They were able to get the bomb plant on top of it. It's just those things can build up if you have a few players that can do that. Just get some really unlikely pistol kills. Down the line, that's another pretty much $4,000 spent for a rifle and armor. That might be the difference in a 15th round. I mean, like a 29th, 28th round. I don't see how Nico didn't shoot him. I don't get why Nico didn't see him, or how he didn't see him. Oh, and he misses that. That's Spidey peek. Surprising. Totally saw him there, but also knew he was there. So right there, flusha just went really quickly through mid. Was able to get a kill connector and just kind of booked it towards Cat. It actually ended up with them winning the round. So he seems kind of slow there to react to that. I don't know what's going on, but and yeah, you can sometimes come out ahead on these mid fights, or sometimes 3 of you just die, and that's kind of how this map goes sometimes. Just a lot of mid presence, a lot of fighting, and now you have a 5v3, so you could just group up and execute somewhere, or you could just they still have 2 smokes, so that probably means you're gonna do an A execute because you can smoke off, you know, jungle and stairs, or CT and jungle or something like that. You don't really have as many things to worry about. They still have a ton of nades, and flusha's got 3 health here, so it's more likely that he's going to be involved in just kind of lurking. It's super so you usually want to send your 3 health guys or your low HP guys later into a round as the entries, but just even more valuable for someone, I would say, of flusha's skill level, is to put him in a lurk position like this where the execute's going on and everyone's going to be looking towards it, so he's way more likely to do some damage just being in a spot that the enemies don't expect him than just running out first and just taking one M4 random spray bullet and dying. And looks like mousesports are going to save. I want to see if he gets aggressive. I don't think he will, though, because he's got 3 health. Yeah, he's just trying to save. Again, just going out mid, and he didn't even get a top mid smoke or anything. Okay, he's gonna have to do it himself, it looks like. Actually, he just doesn't even go at all. Oh, they have a window smoke for him from spawn, but he still has to be really careful here. Someone could have been pushed up mid. Without a teammate flashing him out, it's really hard to just take this fight. So he's kind of lurking. His role kind of changes depending on the strat. On Mirage, the guys that are taking mid control will often be some of the guys that are doing the pinch with the guys that are doing the execute somewhere else. But he was really slow to go on this round. There was pretty much no chance of him helping anything else going on when he's that passive. But might have sensed some kind of mid aggression or something. So he's still just lurking, you know, 1-on-5. Oof. Poor timing. Now it's just back to mid fighting. Ooh, if he threw that molly just second earlier, Lekro would still be alive. This has been a really good mid take from GODSENT. They actually flash Pronax into connector, and then they flash flusha into ladder. Now they have just really a lot of options. He's going to even start faking towards B, and as that's going on, the rest of his team's going towards A. It's kind of a fake. Throwing a body towards connector like that, or towards cat like that, it's going to definitely make the CTs think that the terrorists are going towards B. Usually you wouldn't just do that if you're lurking, or even if you're faking. A lot of times people just throw a bunch of nades, but actually throwing your body into the fray there can similarly just be a fake. I mean, it's a more committed fake. So actually he's working with Schneider this time mid. It's pretty... GODSENT just has a lot of flexibility. Having Pronax work with him before, Pronax isn't even near him now. It's Lekro and Schneider mid, and Pronax is watching for the A push from spawn. So, just kind of hanging out. 4-on-3. And flusha continues to kind of do this little lurk. It's kind of lurk play towards the mid. So I guess he's the lurker at least on Mirage. GODSENT seem extra flexible for this map, so I wouldn't go out and say he's always gonna be doing this. I think during the Fnatic days, what was so special about the team was that they were all so flexible in every role, and they also had a lot of spontaneous teamwork. So here he's kind of getting lurky. For GODSENT, at least. And he's just been getting kind of consistent kills. Not too many crazy multi-kill rounds or anything. I think his best so far I think was a 3K, and just consistently being very comfortable at working all these positions. Now he's kind of responsible with going chair and maybe going to get flashed into connector or something. But just the last few rounds, he's been going cat also. So he's really just well-versed in this mid-Mirage dynamic. I mean, he plays cat, and he plays cat connector, and window on CT side. And on T side, he's responsible for going cat or connector also. So seems just very experienced. That's it. His experience comes from definitely just a lot of playing at the highest level. It's something like some people can train themselves to be at this level, but it's kind of like how an athlete can just play the NBA season and doesn't work very hard in the off season, and then just like plays themselves into shape. And I'm not saying that's the case with flusha. I think he does practice a lot, I'm sure, but he oh wow, really good of Spidey to realize that he can be seen from there. I don't know if he's just jumping because but I think a lot of people would have ran to get in there. And now flusha is really good timing getting a flank off here. I think they know what's going on, but oh, he really could have gotten that kill there if he wasn't so he just got a plan. Oh, just ran out of time. Okay, well, it's like how last season in the NBA, James Harden started the season really badly, and everyone was kind of like, what? He was like former MVP, almost an MVP, runner-up MVP, but he was hanging out with the Kardashians all summer, so he came into the season really bad, and but then he played himself into shape, showed up really late in the season. I mean, kind of middle season, he started putting up sick numbers, and this season he's going crazy for this 2016-17 season. And I'm not saying Fletch is doing that, but it seems like he kind of just played himself into shape. That's all. You see, he has so much experience playing these pro games. He's just got a lot of awareness, game sense. Knows what to do when he's sent to a lot of different situations. This is another new strat. Again, they haven't done this yet either. Pronax just has a ton of strats, and I'm pretty sure when they were on on Fnatic together too. He would call a lot of strats. I listened to a POV comm of them before, and a lot of them just kind of make up their own strats too mid round. And in the beginning of rounds, they just say, "Hey, can I do this?" And Pronax would say, "Yep, sure," and then they do it. So, they all have done this, done tons of different roles, tons of different times. So, it just seems flusha is just really comfortable doing practically everything. He hasn't like done too much entry fragging though. He hasn't been with like the main squad. He's always been kind of in the secondary squad. A lot of the people I've been profiling have been like that also, where they don't seem to be. It's very hard to have great numbers as an entry fragger, dedicated entry fragger, and now like flusha is just kind of sitting here, trying to get a rotator. It's kind of like a round secured kind of play where he saw Dennis for a split second, I think, and now he's just holding that. And that's that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go over what I saw on flusha and kind of what I know about him to conclude this. So, okay, he's super experienced. Never seems out of place. Never seems like his positioning was always good this entire game. I'd almost go as far to say he didn't make a single mistake that was really bad. That was like round costing. He definitely overstayed his welcome, but at peeking at the CT over the smoke a bunch of times. But he wasn't really he wasn't that bad or anything. I mean, it worked two times in a row. I mean, I'd probably just keep doing it until it fails for me. But that's the only thing I think you kind of got to realize at that point. Hey, you should probably chill with doing that. You've done it so many times now. But GODSENT's setup allows him to kind of play his own game a lot of the time. He's really in a situation where he's kind of like there's a strat going on, and it's like flusha. You have to do what the strat is saying for it to work. And a lot of times when you're like a specific role, like you're the support, you're the entry, you're the IGL, you'll kind of like really like force certain plays to happen where you may actually feel like it's the wrong play in the moment, or you might feel a little uncomfortable about it. But what flusha gets to do every round is kind of just whatever he feels like. And there's a game plan for him where he's gonna kind of work towards cat or towards connector or just hang out mid or whatever is going on. But a lot of it's on his own judgment, and he has a really good knack for coming out at the right time, throwing the right nades, and just overall seems really experienced in this role. Today he seemed like a lurker for sure, but I think some of the time he can be a faster player depending on the map, the strat, etc. But today he played pretty slowly and really collected. So I'll just go over everything again from the start. So Pistol, he's a USP player. He it's kind of a rotator position a lot of the time. Pretty much everyone on GODSENT had a rotator position except for Lekro, who's the dedicated B, and I think JW was a dedicated A player. But and Pronax maybe was dedicated like ramp, but they had a lot of setups that kept rotating the players around. So I don't know if I would even say that those two had those roles. But JW was seriously all over the place. Cat, mid, CT spawn, connector. He was in B apartments even for a round. So he is just super versatile, and always uses the rifles. On T side, he was kind of a support player. He bought a smoke, he bought an HE grenade, or a flash, bought an HE grenade, bought a P250. Wasn't going out first or anything. So I'd have to assume he's rarely the entry fragger. But, gun rounds, he's buying the AK a lot. Would kind of lurk mid. Just kind of did things on his own pace, own time, as I've been saying. He has a really good sense of tempo and pace for a round. Even though he's doing it as an individual, I think IGLs that have really good senses of pace and tempo are really good too. And I think Pronax uses that a little bit. It's not like they did too many rounds. They did a couple rounds that went really late or were really slow. So that might just be kind of on Pronax too. Just kind of like saying, hey, we're going to do slow, fast, medium, speed this round. And then flusha just kind of like follows that. And then is really good at doing that though. He was good at going slow. He's good at going that medium speed, of taking a round, just kind of clearing everything, doing everything like he's supposed to, really, and just really proper player. Nothing. Just very like so surprisingly. I usually catch a couple of mistakes or things I think could be mistakes in all of these demos that I'm watching for pros, but flusha might be the first person where I actually didn't really see much of a mistake at all. Like there were very like, and the one mistake I think he made where he jumped over that box again, even though he knew Dennis from mousesports was right on the other side of it, probably looking at him. Like it was a 1v5 and they had tons of money. They never had to save after that or anything. It was kind of a late in the half situation. So it really even wasn't a big deal. So yeah, flusha. That's my summary of flusha. Hope you enjoyed my analysis. Just a really collected, fine-tuned player. He's got a pretty good aim. Nothing really shocked me, but his nades are so good, just so good. His HE grenades were consistently doing tons of damage to people. He's got a real. I mean, that's on that sense of tempo and like timing, is that he's throwing these nades like right when people are peeking, and it's like it is suspect. It is that does make you think how does he know? But I think that's just from so much experience and so much time watching demos over and over again and going things over with his team. But yeah, okay, that's it. Master of tempo, flusha. All right, thanks for watching, guys.